in Uganda. He has done it well for the last so many years, and we appreciate. I want to thank him for gracing the occasion, the Vice President, the entire government that was there to support. Explore Uganda has, of course, for some time now, Uganda has not had a brand identity, like the way you see Magical Kenya, the way you see Visit Rwanda. So Uganda didn't have anything. There were so many things we would talk about Uganda. Someone would say Tulambule, someone would say breathtaking Uganda, some would say Visit Uganda, so many things. So we needed to get one campaign that would all focus on, that speaks for Uganda as a brand, one single brand for the destination. So it's been something that has been going on for over the last 2 years. So many people participated. There was a lot of consultation until we came up with the final brand that was launched on the 21st. Of course, what we've already said is we are not only stopping at launching, because launching is just one ceremony. What we are looking at is rolling out the brand, putting it out there, domestically, internationally, so that we can have, especially now that COVID is going down and countries have started reopening up, travel has begun across the globe. So we believe this is the right time for which to, this was the best time to launch the brand, so that we can position ourselves as the best destination country going forward now that there is travel around the world.
All right, but when you talk about launching this brand, one would ask a question. What is the brand? What do we have as Uganda, looking at a number of our tourism sites, heritage sites, not in very good shape, not very attractive as such. So what do we have that we've branded and we are selling out? And how competitive is this?
No, we have a lot to offer as a country. We have a lot, right from the source of the Nile. The big five, we keep saying that we don't only have the big five, we even have the additional two, the chimpanzee and the gorilla. That puts us at an advantage.
So what are the big five, for the benefit of our viewer, to know certain things they must look out for?
I think we have the lion, the elephant, the hippo, the buffalo. Well, I may not have all but we say the additional two that the others don't have, that we have is the gorilla and the chimpanzee. So we are at an advantage compared to Tanzania, Kenya, that have the big five minus the additional two, and of course better than Rwanda that only has the two, the gorilla, and then doesn't have the rest of the safari. So we have a lot to offer, like I said, the source of the Nile, but most importantly also the people of Uganda. They are the most friendly, welcoming people that there is in the world. Everyone has talked about that. So there's a lot to offer as a country that is already developed. Yes, someone will say not to the best really, but it's work in progress, and we hope to get better as we get more support from government and even the rest of the players. So what we have is good enough. The culture, we have so many tribes, different types of food, a lot really, a lot. But like I've always said, that it's upon all of us to love this country. Let's first love it, let's exploit ourselves before now we market it to the outsider out there. So there's a lot to offer, and I would still say that in the region, if not in the entire Africa, I mean, Uganda is still the most beautiful country and has the most to offer. How we use it as Ugandans is another debate for another day. But that's why we've always implored the Ugandans as well, that you travel. And I was giving figures the other day. I want to thank the Ugandans that traveled so much, as I'm yet to get figures from Uganda Wildlife Education Center. But everyone performed so well this time round. And you know, I want to thank UBC, because you partnered with us. We spoke about these campaigns together, and at least we saw the results coming. I want to thank the development partners that supported a number of projects like Echoto Hampango. For the first time, we had, let's say, Semuliki National Park move among the top 4 most visited parks in this country, something that had never happened just because of that campaign. So I believe the moment we focus more, travel, tweet, and market this country, the numbers will keep changing. Domestic travel will go up. This quarter alone, as saying, we had around 80,000 people into our national parks, and out of the 80,000, still around 70% were Ugandans in just the last 3 months of November, October, December. December was 40,000 plus. So we believe now that there is opening up. Yes, the numbers will increase, especially also for the local market. So I want to thank the Ugandans that have gone out there. They don't know that when they travel, they support a lot. They support the hotel owners, and of course the hotel owners employ so many Ugandans, so Ugandans have jobs. they buy food from the local communities, and it's really a triple down effect whenever Ugandan travels and spends money. So our focus is this year going forward, of course, to regain the numbers that we had before COVID, the 1.5 million plus, and also raise the money to the 1.5 billion that we're getting annually, and I believe we'll get it. But also we are targeting on increasing on the number of travelers that come in for leisure travel alone, not just travel. Those are the big time spenders. And I believe now that we have a brand that identifies this country, we are going to aggressively put it up there. And I can assure you that when we come back here at the end of this year, we shall be speaking better numbers.
Very interesting. Honorable Minister, we rightly know that globally there is no country that has massively developed that is their tourism sector, if not relying on domestic tourism. And when we look at Uganda, and COVID was a clear evidence of this, that domestic tourism is not doing that very much. Most of our tourism areas are dominated by foreigners. When you look at the countries like China, even our neighbors in Kenya, and I was reading statistics from Kenya Tourism Board, when they were looking at countries where they get most of their visitors, they had the UK, they had the US, and here comes in Uganda. And you'd wonder, many Ugandans actually go to Masai Mara land to visit than they go to their own country. So how best can we promote domestic tourism? Because it has proved there was a time when borders were closed, planes were closed, and the white man, the foreigner we rely on, will not access this country.
Well, I agree. And interestingly, equally, as much as Ugandans go there, the number one visitors that we have in Uganda are actually Kenyans as well. So we benefit from, they are our biggest market for tourists. So we want to thank them. We can keep relating. There are some things that you'd get better in Kenya. But like I said, a lot has changed. I can assure you, at least I was communicating with hotel owners here and there throughout the festive season. I traveled a bit across a few places in Uganda, and I can assure you it was impossible to get a good hotel right from around the 10th of December until I think mid-January. It was impossible. All hotels were fully booked. You'd even call and they would tell you, no, we don't have, unless we are sending you. So there was a lot of business, and mainly from the Ugandans. And if you do a ratio of the foreigner that traveled in Christmas and the Ugandan, okay, of course we term them as East Africans, but still Ugandans contribute to the biggest number this time round in this last quarter. The foreigners were around only just 25% to 30%. The rest were the East Africans and Ugandans leading. So I think a lot is changing. I believe we just need to campaign more, put out more products for the Ugandans, and create the awareness about these products. Ugandans will travel. I know they love the country. There has not been a lot of awareness. Like I'm saying, this is something we've learned out of COVID, that domestic tourism is an area we should focus on, develop and grow, because it is the only function that we can base on to create a resilient tourism sector, especially when we get challenges like COVID.
Honorable, let's also look at this campaign more, Explore Uganda. What are the ingredients? What new is in it apart from branding? Because, you know, when you now have a brand, there are some areas you've put emphasis. There are some maybe changes. There are some commitments you've come up with after it being launched by His Excellency. What is new? What should Ugandans now expect?
First of all, you know, there was a lot of contradiction. Some people saying, why explore Uganda? Why not visit Uganda? Why not say, because there was something called gifted by nature before that did not succeed so much. But you see, the reason for explore is a much broader word. When you say gifted by nature, you're saying we're only focusing on the protected areas, on the parks, but on the safari kind of tourism. But Uganda has a lot to offer. That's why I'm saying explore has everything. It has culture, it has the food, it has all this. Really, it is just and like I've said, for me, when I'm going out there, I do the real exploration. I will move like someone who lacks what to do and has nowhere to go, and I'll feel that journey from the beginning, the people, their culture, the food, the way they relate, the way, and a lot. There's a lot Uganda can offer. So that's why we chose the word explore, not necessarily visit, not necessarily know, so that you have a longer experience. And it's a challenge we've been having, because you see, we equally for, let's say, the international traveler, you see, we need to create a way of having him stay in Uganda longer and spend much more money. When you tell him come to the park and go to Makshon, and the following day get onto a vehicle and come back to the airport and fly out, then it doesn't make sense. You have to find a way of having him do activities across the journey so he can spend 7-8 days. And that would be very good money for this country and subsequently for the development of the country. So yes, so that's why we're using, we preferred the word explore. But like I've told Ugandans, you see I know a little bit of marketing, that it doesn't really matter, because everyone will say, no, why not this one, why not this one? There's still that debate going on. But the argument is not what we've put out there. For us, we believe it is good. But how we market what we have out there is what matters. People sell actually even a lot of nothing. But the way we aggressively partner together as a team, the private sector and we government and the rest of the Ugandans, to put this brand out there will help us. And we've segmented it. For the Ugandan traveler, for we, the domestic tourists, we've said what is uniquely ours as the Ugandan, because what we have, no one else have. I can assure you, no one else across the world has. And for the international, we shall be launching the brand also internationally. We shall have a different slogan for them. But we are telling the Ugandan, please explore this country, go have fun, move the way you want, and enjoy Uganda to the fullest.
Talking about enjoying Uganda to the fullest, more so to the Ugandans, let's look at some of the bottlenecks that remain a challenge to domestic tourism. One is the issue of currency. That a number of places you go to, I'm a Ugandan, maybe I've made my money, I've not even held a dollar before. And here I am, they're telling me, you're paying in dollars. So let's first begin with that, which is a hindrance to a number of Ugandans. They'll tell you, why would I get my monies? Go exchange them into the dollar so that now I can move around. How has your ministry factored in this? We know it's a liberal economy, but for promotion of domestic tourism.
Now, of course, and we've been dealing with hotel owners. A number of them have also gotten to understand that the domestic sector is key, because you see, if you're only relying on the Muzungu, I'm just saying, for the COVID period, without letting in the local person come in, then definitely most of them must have closed by now. So we've now started appreciating the importance of having the Ugandan travel into these areas, and even the East Africans. So a lot of them have changed. I know there are so many places where you'll go and you'll not pay in dollars, and there are special rates for the Ugandan traveler in most of these hotels, especially the ones in the protected areas. But we're engaging them more, like I've previously said, that we've also tried to open up accommodation a little bit more. We have advertised, soon we shall have more people build accommodation in the protected areas, so the prices can really go down.
And I love that so much, because the challenge we've been having is you go to these protected areas and there are few hotels.
Yes.
Very few. So therefore, factors of demand and supply, one is at liberty.
Yes, to charge as much as he wants. But that is going to change. Like I said, we've advertised last year. We shall have people constructing. This year, February, God willing, we shall re-advertise. And we shall fill these parks with a lot of accommodation. Of course, we can't fill them entirely, because now we also have to balance the nature, how the animals move freely when we fill them with only accommodation. But also still, there are so many incentives for whoever wants to get into the accommodation business. Whether you're building a hotel within the towns, there's a lot. You get some tax waivers on importation of a number of products that help within the hotel business. So government is trying to create an easy environment for whoever wants to participate. And I think this goes a long way to see how we increase on the accommodation, but also even the first class accommodation. There are so many people who have so much money, especially the international travelers, who will come to Uganda and say, no, I can't find accommodation that is worth my status or something like that. So we're also inviting so many, and I think that's why the Dubai Expo was very important. We've gotten so many people that want to come to this country and build the real high-end lodges of maybe $3,000 a night, $4,000. But also, even for the Ugandans, you can you'd get surprised that most of the hotels, at least I asked about, that were full, all of them were charging $100 to $150 plus, but all of them were fueled by Ugandans. So that shows that Uganda has a growing middle class that has a different kind of demand and a different kind of class. So we also have to start preparing to accommodate this kind of group of people. So we believe the sector is growing. We believe, we hope for the best. We've always talked about the issue of human resource. We were discussing it yesterday when we had an engagement with the private sector, that of course still UHTTI is not producing as many as we need because there are so many hotels out there. But it is something that we are looking at aggressively on how to find a solution for. Human resource is very key. As saying, you go to someone's hotel with a very beautiful structure, with high kind of investment, but when you ask for service, you honestly get disgusted. And
leave alone service. This has been my experience. One time I went out with my family to this place with my hard-earned money and savings. That was like, yes, let's go on tour. But one thing that I observed is selective treatment. I'm going to pay, I have the money, I'm going to sleep in this hotel, I've prepared all it takes. And when a white person enters, there's preferable treatment. And I think this all either goes back to the training where we need to see more reliably informed that government is setting up something better that is under Uganda Hotels and Visit Management Institute.
No, first of all, that's what I'm telling you, that of course the lack of professionalism in the human resource that we have. But there are some people that, but also the hotel owners, you know, there are some that deliberately want to someone puts up a hotel and wants to bring a brother, a sister to manage the hotel. But these things are a bit different, and service is key. But still, like I'm saying, government is trying to tackle this. There's a lot of money that has been allocated to UHTTI, the former Crested Crane Hotel in Jinja, where there was a school. And you can imagine the NRM government thought about this in 1989 when we first had a school in, I think, at Fairway Hotel. I think it was a vision of the president. I don't know how we thought about that then, that we needed the human resource. So the school is growing. They got some more money this year, remodeling the hotel, actually building a new structure, a 4-star hotel that will train these students so that they go through the right facility, not a 2-star hotel, not the rest, but also have a hotel that
those men have been going to any form of restaurant around?
No. Like I'm saying, you'll visit the hotel when it's complete. I think we shall be going there. There are a few challenges here, but I think we shall put them right and get the act together and produce the best students so that they can compete favorably. Because honestly, for Ugandans still, why would someone go to, you know, someone can move from here to Dubai just for service. So if we're willing to offer him the same that you'd get anywhere else in the world, that's good. And we should be able to produce people that still market this country. Someone working in a hotel, a waiter, the job shouldn't only be for you to bring tea and you go away. You should bring tea and market. Tell whoever you're serving that, you know, there is another place, not only here, you can go and do a BCD, like the Kenyans are doing, the graduates of Butali. So I want to thank the school. They are doing a very good job. We're passing out some of the students. We believe that as the facility grows, we shall have more students get through the school and have the best human resource out there to manage the growing demand within the hospitality sector.
Well, our viewers, you can now be part of the topic of discussion this morning. We are looking at Exploring Uganda, a campaign that was launched on the 21st of last month by His Excellency Uganda Tourism Board to ensure that we promote home and international tourism, that the monies you save, you also get to know more about Uganda as a country. This is what we are pushing for, well knowing the role of tourism in our country as much as we look at foreign exchange, employment, where it's doing a tremendous work. We want to ensure that we get it at the top where it deserves to be by you and me leading this time, not only the white man that jets into this country. And that's the number on your screen, 070-960-2592, 070-960-2592. We'll be able to read out all your questions, but also you can use a traditional SMS and still on the same number, and I'll be reading out that, plus other social media platforms, that is our YouTube, our Facebook, and our Twitter handle, and I'll be reading out all those messages. Honorable Minister, have we seen government officials lead by example in this campaign? Many times when we hear them, people on holidays, Switzerland, people have rarely gone to any of these tourism sectors. And I see a VIP, a person who has come, at least, you know, leading by example is very interesting. When we hear so-and-so is here, there. So has your ministry or government had deliberate. I long to see members of parliament go in an organized manner, go to some of these tourist sites, lead, because the people that one would say, they have the money, but it is very discouraging to hear them. They went to tour, benchmarking, then you see them enjoying the hotels, the wildlife there, yet there is plenty here. Do we have a policy of that nature? Even
before the policy, I can assure you that big people in this country are traveling. I can just give you a scenario that, for instance, last year, the Kabaka of Uganda was in Queen Elizabeth with his family. And I mean, we're happy to have him.
Wow, that would really meant, yes.
The Prime Minister, Oichtiwa Maiga, was in Kidepo, and we're happy to have him there and the family. So a number of members of parliament, ministers, yes, they've traveled. This weekend we shall be with a group, our own committee of tourism, I think in Queen Elizabeth. So a number of them are traveling. The only thing is we don't shine so much light on them, and I think we shall see how we engage them, so that when they travel, they also share a bit on social media and the rest. But they've been traveling, but still deliberately. It may not be forceful, but we still call upon, of course, our colleagues in government that, yes, travel is important. But like I'm saying, we also have to tackle these bottlenecks that make travel a little bit difficult. And that's why we're saying the expenses. But still, I want to thank our UWA that has made, especially for the domestic market, because 20,000 entering into the park is not really too much. But also a promotional rate that is now available for whoever wants, where you pay around 100,000 Uganda shillings, and you can enter the park 1,000 times a year on just 100,000.
Wow.
Yes. So there are so many packages we are putting out there. Just promote this segment of travel. And I think, for me, I believe that it's going to grow bigger. For me, I believe in numbers. I told you, this quarter it was 80,000. When I come back next maybe December or something, I'll tell you 200, 300,000. So, but let's market. Let's not leave the duty of marketing to me, to you at UBC, but to everyone, to every Ugandan, to travel this country, market, tweet about it. Let's talk about this country. That's all we need to do. Let's talk about it.
Well, it is time I also look at some of the questions that are coming in to the Honorable Minister, the State Minister for Tourism in our country. And one has just asked, hello, I just started a tourism company. Is there any support for my status? Okay, thank you so much, but please kindly also give us your name and, if possible, where you are watching from. I have someone, I think this is abroad and I do not have the name. He says, thank you so much, Honorable Minister. I love your passion for tourism in our country, but multi-taxation is a problem to hotel owners and those that manage some of these tourism recreation centers. And I find that a very, very relevant relevant observation. You go to a hotel, the swimming pool is taxed, the bar is taxed, then maybe if they have a sauna. So at the end of the day, this multi-taxation. Yes,
I agree. First of all, the person who said that they had started a travel company, you can engage us, especially through our sister arm of UTB. It's a regulator, and we can find whatever way we can help you in terms of training and the rest to give you support to make sure that you succeed in your new passion. But I believe, thank you for going there. There will be no regrets. Well, on the issue of multi-taxation, and I agree really, like I said, we're with the private sector yesterday. It's been a challenge, it's been raised. We've engaged the Minister of Finance. We are trying our best to resolve the issues, to see that at least there is one component that we would all focus on. You can't tax everything, especially during COVID, and that's why there are so many challenges with so many hoteliers now that when they were hit by COVID, you know, surviving becomes a little bit difficult when you have to pay all this tax when you have. But also, still on the other arm, I still want to thank government and the European Union that came up with a stimulus package that, of course, not every hotel owner qualified, but through their association of Uganda Hotels Owners Association, at least some money was given. I know some more has come in. The argument was, why delay releasing this money? Because some of it was released when people had already lost business. So now, and I think UDB, it's going through UDB. I think they agree that there were some challenges. Now they will expedite the process so that the applicants can easily access this relief. So they honestly get back onto their feet and not lose property. But it's something that we are looking at engaging our sister agencies, especially the Ministry of Finance, to see how we harmonize and come up with something that is really balanced for everyone.
Well, I dream of that day. Looking at some of the messages, please keep them coming in, and give me your name kindly. What is the role of culture centers at district levels in the tourism sector? Thank you. I am Basajja Martin from Ntoroko. Thanks for hosting our own. Toroko, they are on. Then here, okay, want to know about tourism in Uganda. I think he's just asking how best, because this is a foreign number, and he says, I want to know more about tourism in Uganda. I think he's asking, how does he get to know more about tourism in Uganda? Also, we have another one. This is, hello UBC, Fort Portal being the tourism city and the center of tourism in Uganda. Which plans does government have to develop the markets and the area? That is Henry. Honorable, let's first get at those three, as I'll be reading more as they come in.
Of course,
the role of culture centers, if we begin with that at district levels in the tourism sector, from Basajja Martin.
Of course, thank you, Basajja. And of course, now at every local government, we have what we call tourism officers. We are trying to work with government to see that we support them more, so they can probably be more effective than they are today. But they've identified the tourism projects that we can do in most of these areas in terms of what we can develop, what we can focus on, to probably help the local government also make some revenue out of tourism, but also create some more employment for the people at the local government level or within those districts. So it is something that we are looking at. There are so many projects that are out there, like I'm saying. We are still partnering and engaging on seeing how we amplify tourism. Tourism is a sector that is actually getting to people. People are trying to understand it more now, really, vis-a-vis the amounts of money that come in. So let's see how we go, but we are aggressively pursuing it, and I think things will get better. Someone asked about someone who wants to come here, about the tourism opportunities. Like I said, there are so many, and I wish I wouldn't want to lose him as a client. We can share more, and I get someone good, and he would market to him the best packages, at what prices, and how long he can stay, and what he can get out of his money in this country.
Then we have a question regarding the tourism city, that is Fort Portal.
Oh yes, like I said, Fort
plans
Portal,
to develop.
Yes, like I said, Fort Portal, and I want to thank UNDP because I talked about Echoto Hampango, where we're all there, the first daughter. I mean, the king, the queen, the queen mother, all those people that mattered so much in the sector. And that's why I was giving you that the numbers changed. For instance, for Torres Amuliki National Park, because for the first time it went among the top 4 because of shining that light in Fort Portal. But also UNDP with the ministry are looking at making these events yearly, so we can have a Echoto Hampango yearly. This year around, we are going to go to Bugisu. We are going to focus on the Embalu and the rest. So we want to put this thing throughout the country, such that in a year we shine light on almost all these regional areas, so that we amplify what they have to offer and create awareness about them. So for Portrait, yes, it's one of the areas. We are planning a regional museum for them. It actually would be, probably would have started by now, but because of COVID, we stayed a bit behind. But we have the plans in place, and we believe we shall have a regional museum for that entire Rwenzori area. We have the Rwenzori development plan in terms of tourism. So there is a lot, really. There is a lot going on, and we shall get there with time. Yes.
Well, one coming in, an SMS message, hello, I just started a tourism company. Is there any support for my status? And he's Captain Kingdon and a Karamajong by tribe, who has just started a company and is asking for any ideas if there's any financial support for starters.
Well, financial support may not really be there because that is really the private sector. But still, through the organizations, UTA, Auto, and the rest, he can get some support. But still, like I'm saying, we can guide him, especially interestingly that he's from the Karamoja region, where we have Kidepo, where we need a lot of investment in tourism. It's a very virgin place. We can see how we assist him. It may not be financial, but technical. We support him, show him the right direction, and we can get him in touch with UTB even today to make sure that at least he gets some information going forward.
Well, good morning, UBC. I'm Patrick Nyanga from Lila. I'm only thanking you for hosting him live. Well, we always do. All the guests in our morning shows are live. These are live shows, and thank you for always being part of the shows. And still another one from Istanbul. Uganda has many parks, but how do I get to them? Okay, thank you so much. The Honorable Minister will be responding more to that. And we have also, good morning, Uganda. I thank you for hosting the Minister. My question is, what incentives are there for us, tour operators who have been hit hard by the pandemic, the bomb scares, and all staff was put out of work due to lack of revenue? Having talk shows won't push Explore Uganda alone. Could you please share your contact and we approach you with a standard procedures that gives results? Thank you, Ben from Entebbe. Well, Ben, I'll equally forward this message and your number to the Honorable Minister. He says, I think there's so much that they need to reviginate this sector.
Well, I'll start with actually Ben. You see, the sector is a bit streamlined, and the associations through which all these members fall. For a tour operator, it falls under Auto. And like I said, we were engaging the leadership of Auto yesterday with CV and the rest. They had a number of issues they were raising, and we had a good engagement to see how we partner together and better the sector as a team. Tourism is not only for government. We all mutually benefit from each other as we grow the sector. So I know the challenges that they have. I don't want to get into them now. A number of issues were raised, and we are going to see how we push together to see how we probably come up with some stimulus packages, because I can assure you the sector was hit so much. A sector that was employing over 600,000 Ugandans, almost 6% of the entire employable workforce in this country was just in the tourism sector. And you can imagine it moved from 400,000 to around 200,000 or even less. So it's just trying to pick up. We understand the challenges. Of course, it's not only tourism that was hit, so many sectors were hit. But you're trying to work around the clock to see how we get out of this. And I want to assure him that things will get better. And one of the ways is really having this brand, promoting it, so we can have more numbers come in and there's business for everyone and the rest of the tour operators. And that's why I want to go to the Istanbul person who said, how does he get here? And you can see now my brother, the tour operator, who said, how can he get, that is business for him. If we'd even put him in touch and he has that as he has him as one of his clients, that's some small money for him as we go forward. So let's make the connection work, and we see how we benefit. But let him come to Uganda and he'll have fun. There will be no regret. The weather is wonderful. If he's from Turkey, I don't think he'll even go back.
Definitely, Uganda, Explore Uganda is the campaign, and that is the direction we are moving in to market and promote Uganda in the line of tourism. Another one coming in. Hello, thanks for the show. Honorable Minister, we are grateful for the work done. I'm Kahunde Susan, Miss Tourism Uganda. I am looking forward to marketing Uganda's tourism on various platforms, but I am still lacking funds. However, I'll be grateful part of Tulambule for wider marketing. Thank you so much. Okay, this is Miss Tourism, and she's indicating some of the challenges in her bid, that is to promote Uganda. Still looking at some of the messages coming in. Please just give me your name and keep them a bit short. Yes, I'm eager to read them out, but just give us your name and keep them a bit short. Well, one asks, he says, but I've not gotten the name. He says, the tourism sector, most so natural areas to visit, are in a very sorry state. Honorable, what are you doing?
Thank you so much, and I want to congratulate Miss Tourism for having, taken the crown. But like I'm saying, probably this coming year, we've agreed we are working on a mechanism to support these pageants better, not only Miss Tourism, but Miss Uganda. Miss Uganda goes out there and markets. If you look at the promotional videos, you don't believe. So you're trying to work up a mechanism to see how we partner better, empower them, give them more materials to market and promote this country better. Of course, Kahunde knows my office is open. We can always engage and see how we get things better going forward. Now, on the issue of
these sites,
the sites, not only the sites, like I'm saying, there is still a lot to develop in this country, especially in terms of product development.
You go to the source of Lanile, you go to CP Falls, you go to Chitagata. I was in senior one when I visited Chitagata, Hot Springs. I went back after years, Honorable Minister, for sure. Nothing.
Like I'm saying, you see, tourism is now getting more appreciated than it was before, to be honest. after COVID is when people have known that we did not know that this is a serious sector, because it was bringing in so much, and the moment we were hit, the impact was felt by everyone. So I want to thank His Excellency, because now, honestly, they are so supportive, government is, and we believe that now we are moving together as a team, we shall get these sites much better. And a lot, really. If you look, the other day we were launching a partnership with Bar Aviation, one of the airline, trying to do domestic airlines travel in this country. And of course, I want to thank them for creating an option for Ugandans. There are so many Ugandans now who prefer flying than going on the road. Very many of them. And if I told you the figures, for instance, they were telling me how many flights were made, how many people used the Kasese field, for instance, in thousands. And these are Ugandans mostly. So you can see a lot is changing, and we are giving alternatives to everyone so that they enjoy their experience better. So there's that partnership with Uganda Airlines, and I want to thank them. Yesterday we were launching, I want to thank and congratulate His Excellency, the Ambassador of Saudi Arabia. We're launching Saudia, which is a Saudi Arabian airline that will be making around 3 flights here every week. And we are trying to work out a mechanism with them going forward to see that at least we have a number of Saudis come to this country and also spend some money in terms of tourism. So it's a sector that is growing. I am very optimistic. Things will get better. Where we are not so bad off, but we keep improving. Rome was not built in one day. But what we have is good enough. You see the problem with Ugandans, they don't even travel the little that we have, but they want, so you travel so that we develop the sector together, really.
Okay, Honorable, let me have your final message this morning in the interest of time, and says, good morning, Uganda. Thank you so much for hosting our lovely Honorable Minister Bahinduka Mugara Martin. I'm here in Ntoroko district, learning a lot from him. Asimwe Bala Rebisengo Town Council. Well, thank you so much, everybody that has sent in messages. We really appreciate, and of course, those that have not been able to read out, some have a similarity, others, in the interest of time, we couldn't handle all, but really appreciate. Honorable, let me have your final remarks to Ugandans, more so on this campaign, Explore Uganda.
No, I want to thank all the Ugandans out there, especially our partners in the private sector. Those that are, I know right now there is a campaign called the Big Boys Caravan. It's a 12-day campaign going around the country headed by Isaiah. These are people in the private sector that are doing so much. They spend their own money, move this country, profile it, and see how they market it, have more people come in, but especially targeting the domestic sector. So I want to thank them. And the rest of the Ugandans, like I've said, the business of promoting this country shouldn't be for me, Martin, shouldn't be for you, Kirabo, shouldn't be for anyone else. It should be for every Ugandan. Travel this country, tweet about it, and everyone gets to know about it. So hope to see you in most of our parks going forward. Hope to see you in Jinja, along the Nile. Hope to see you in Bunyonyi, on Lake Bunyonyi. Hope to see you on most of these islands, Kalangal and the rest. I want to thank people that are invested in the business now. There's a lot of water transport. It's now easier. The other day I was in one of the islands in what is it? I'm forgetting, on Lake Victoria. And it's fun, really. Ugandans are traveling and loving this country. So travel, party is not only in Kampala. I'm talking especially to, we have a very young population, almost over 80% are 30 and below. The party should not only end in Kampala. You can still go out there and drink your beer. Or usually I tell them that if you look at the cost of a bottle of whiskey in a bar now, maybe 300, 400,000. That is enough to have you in a vehicle with your girlfriend to any of the protected areas, and you have a good blast there. So please travel this country, enjoy, and let's talk about it. Let's talk about it.
Let's travel this country. Let's enjoy the beauty of Uganda. It is us first to market this country, and the rest will come up. When you go to this place, use social media, sell out. I know a number of my colleagues, Molen, Kenyana, and Felix Nkunda, do a lot of travels. Let's keep it going on. And definitely at the end of the day, we shall have so much benefit, because the treasuries of this country will have enough money. And this will be reciprocated back into the economy for national development. Have a lovely day. Up next is sports. Stay safe. Ensure that you're vaccinated. Good morning.
Live from Now Avenue in UBC Studios. This is Good Morning Uganda.
Start your day bright and early with good morning bundles from Airtel.